Get up, you lazy sons of whores! There's men out there who want to fuck your corpses!
5 new recruits are being marched up the King's Road, so Sir Alistair is passing 8 boys on to the Lord Commander: Todder, Huldah, Gren, Darian, Albert, Pipar, Mathar and Jon. He then tells the boys that some will now call them men, but they are fools to believe it, and when winter comes they will die like flies. Then Sir Alistair leaves. The recruits gather around and offer congratulations to those promoted. As the boys pass a celebratory wineskin around, Jon notices Sam standing by himself and goes over to him. Sam proclaims that Jon will be the first ranger someday, like his uncle was. Jon corrects this to is. Huldah interrupts to ask if Jon is going to drink the wine he is carrying. Then Pip grabs the wineskin, squirts it into Jon's face, and soon the ecstatic boys start a snowball fight, and by the time Jon can break free, Sam has disappeared. The promoted boys are treated to a marvellous feast that night to celebrate. The group discusses and jokes about their assignments as ranger, builder, woodsman and steward. They are all convinced that Jon, as the best swordsman and rider, will be a ranger like his uncle was the first ranger. Jon corrects this to is once again before pushing his food away and leaving. Pip follows and asks what is wrong, and Jon explains that it is because Sam is not with them. Without them to protect him, Sam will be at the mercy of Sir Alistair. Pip assures Jon that they did all they could for Sam, but that's not good enough for Jon. Jon goes for a long ride by himself. As he rides, he thinks about the world outside the Night's Watch and reminds himself that he has not yet sworn his vow. He thinks of all the places he has wanted to travel to and will never visit. He longs to go back to Winterfell to be with his half-brothers, but then remembers that Lady Catelyn will not welcome him. Jon decides that there is no place for him in Winterfell or in King's Landing, and remembers that not even his mother had a place for him. Whoever she was, his mother must have been something dishonourable. Otherwise, why would Lord Eddard be too ashamed to speak of her? On the ride back, Jon thinks about what he should do about Sam. Jon visits Maester Aemon despite the late hour. Aemon's stewards Chet and Clydus, considered the ugliest men in the watch, meet him at the door. Chet insists that the Maester is asleep and orders Jon to come back in the morning. Jon puts his foot in the door to prevent it from closing and refuses to leave since tomorrow will be too late. Chet goes to get the Maester while Jon goes to the library and starts a fire as instructed. When Maester Aemon arrives, he sits by the fire and assures Jon that a midnight visitor is a welcome diversion from the sleeplessness of old age. Jon asks that Sam be accepted as a sworn brother along with the others. Chet complains that it is no concern of the Maester, and Maester Aemon agrees that training is the responsibility of Sir Alistair. Jon continues on to explain about all he and the others have done to protect Sam. Chet remains adamant that Sir Alistair will make a man of Sam or kill him trying. Jon replies that the Watch has need of every man, and thus to kill one in futile training would be stupid, recalling Maester Luwin's words about why a Maester's chain is made of many kinds of metal. Jon declares that the Watch, like a kingdom, needs all sorts of skills and knowledge. Then Jon asks why Sam could not be a steward. As a steward, Chet objects that it is not easy work fit for cowards. They keep the Watch alive by hunting, farming, gathering firewood, making clothing, and bringing up supplies. Maester Aemon calmly names a number of steward duties, and Jon has to admit that none of them suit Sam. Then Jon declares that there is one thing Sam can do better than everyone else: help Maester Aemon, since he can do sums, read, write, and is good with animals like the ravens. The Maester considers this for a while and then tells Jon that he will think on it.
I demand a trial by combat.